Okay, so I'd like to welcome everybody out to the call today. It is my honor and privilege to introduce Dr. Joe Vitale. He is a prolific author of many best-selling books, including The Attractor Factor, Zero Limits, and his latest, The Awakened Millionaire, The Miracle, Six Steps to Enlightenment. One of the world's top motivational speakers, he is a popular star of the movie The Secret and an internationally famous expert on the law of attraction and clearing beliefs. Dr. Joe created the Miracles Coaching Program to help people achieve their dreams. Once homeless, he is today a model of prosperity who believes in miracles and has spent the last 4 decades learning to master the skills of channeling the pure creative energy of life without resistance. Dr. Joe Vitale, welcome.
Thank you, Adam. It's great to be here. How are you doing this evening?
Oh, fabulous. If I was doing any better, it'd have to be twins.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I understand we have hundreds and hundreds of people from all over the world who have signed up for this call, and so I want to jump right into it. I may ask you for some interaction along the way, so if you can sit quietly on call, I will beep you or buzz you or, cattle prod you or something. I'll get your attention.
For sure. I'll absolutely. Let's rock.
All right. Folks, thank you for making time to be on this call. I know people are calling in from all over the world. For some of you, it's going to be morning. Some of you, it could be in the middle of the night. Whatever the case it is, I am grateful that you are here. Now, this is a special evening. I've never done this particular training before. I've never given it away before. And I have a 5-step process I've never, ever talked about before. And I have a new meditation that has 3 steps to it that I have never revealed to anybody before. So this is a breakthrough training. This is a leading edge training. And what better time to do it than right now? We're going into a new year. We're going into 2018. But also my birthday is tomorrow. And
well, happy birthday.
Thank you. I just came from Thailand. And it was a turning point in my life, and it leads into what I want to discuss with everybody tonight, and the 5 steps to make the new year great, and there's 3 steps for the manifestation meditation that I'll take you to. So I went to Thailand, and Thailand has a custom that on their birthdays, they don't receive gifts, they give gifts. And I have never heard that before. And so since my birthday is tomorrow, I decided that what I was going to do is spend it in giving. And so I decided to do this training and give it away. This is something that could be priceless to you if you take notes and implement it. And it could be a turning point in your life if you actually take action on these things beginning today or beginning tomorrow morning, at any rate. So part of what I'm doing here is giving a birthday gift to you. And in some ways, it can be a fresh start. It could be a birthday, a birth to a new you, a birth to somebody that finally has a new year that is so spectacular that you write it in the history books of your life. And it's the beginning of something that is just an upward spiral to greater and greater miracles and accomplishments and achievements and attractions. So I'm very sincere in this. I've actually made some notes because I want to make sure that I actually deliver what I'm talking about and promising to you. And so what I asked on your part is that you pay attention, that you take notes, and I understand we are recording this training, so we can probably send you access to it later. But I would like you to be focused on this now, and as Adam pointed out, there will be some gifts at the very end of the training. So hang in there as we go through it. Now, I mentioned Thailand. I was brought to Thailand because there was a speaking engagement. And the person who put on the event was a man who is now a billionaire. Not a millionaire or a multimillionaire, a billionaire with a B. But what's more interesting is that he was homeless. Only 15 years ago, he was sleeping on the beach in Thailand with no money, no place to live, no contacts, no friends, and not much hope for the future. He was too embarrassed to call his family back home in Sweden, which is where he's from, but he called a friend, and he asked the friend for money. And the friend would not give him any money. Instead, the friend said, I'm going to send you a book. And my billionaire friend was enraged. He was furious. He's starving. He's on a beach. He's homeless. And instead of getting money from his friend, he got a book. And the book he got was The Secret. Now, virtually everybody on this call should know the book, The Secret. You should know the movie, The Secret. And if for some reason you don't, go to Amazon, Netflix, or someplace and rent the movie, watch The Secret, or get the book, get it from the library, buy it, and read the book. My billionaire friend was homeless, but he had this book in his hand, and he credits his success to that book, to the law of attraction, and to Dr. Joe Vitale, to me. He brought me to Thailand to say thank you. He flew me there at great expense, paid me 6 figures to speak, and then kept me for an extra week and took me to a private island and put me up where I paid nothing for the entire trip because he was saying thank you. He was saying thank you to me. I learned so much from this homeless to billionaire man that I said, I want to write your book. You need to tell your story. And I actually encouraged him to get on stage during his own event, and he spoke for the first time in his life about his story and his transformation and how he went from homeless to billionaire. And, of course, he's crediting me and the law of attraction in the book, The Secret. And I was inspired by his story. I've spent a lot of time with him since he took me to the island, and I got to learn more about how he does what he does and the meditations he does and some of the thinking that goes on in his life. And all of that influenced me. So just as I influenced him to go from homeless to billionaire, he influenced me. And what I'm doing as a way of giving back is going to influence you. So the free training, this is what we're doing right now. It's 5 steps. And as I said, these steps have not all been revealed. You might have heard 1 or 2 of them, but you've never heard them in this combination. And I can pretty much guarantee there's one of them you've never heard in your life. And the meditation, which is part of step 2, I will lead you through. And it was new to me. My homeless to billionaire friend taught it to me, and I'm going to teach it to you. So I hope you're all ready. We're going to take it one step at a time. All right, 5 steps. The very first step, you've heard this one before, but I want you to do it on this training call. That is, state an intention. What is your intention? What is your goal? What is your objective? What is your inspiration? What is your resolution, if you will, for 2018? Now, I'm going to make some comments about this. I am known for a quote that gets shared all over Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, and it basically says, a goal should scare you a little and excite you a lot. It should scare you a little and excite you a lot. But I want to give a footnote to that because I learned from my friend in Thailand that when he was homeless, he wasn't trying to be a billionaire. That was too far of a reach. It didn't seem believable. All he wanted when he was homeless was lunch. When he manifested lunch, he then thought, well, let me try it on a cup of coffee. He then manifested coffee. He then said, well, let me see if I can get an apartment. And he got an apartment in about 2 weeks. So he left homelessness within 2 weeks, but he didn't set out with the goal of, I want to be a billionaire. That had to come over time. So I hear that some people set goals that aren't even believable to themselves. I want you to set a goal or an intention, inspiration, objective, call it whatever you will, that is a stretch for you, but it's within the world of possibility. It feels like it's believable. So you want what I'm calling a believable stretch. A lot of people will say, well, I want to win the lottery. And I hear that almost all the time. And you don't want to win the lottery. What you want is what you think the money is going to bring you. But that much money being dumped on you too quickly is not going to be something you can handle, and you'll end up pushing it away. You'll self-sabotage the money because you haven't grown into it. My friend, who's now a billionaire, had to grow into having more and more money. He had to go through all the stages, from homelessness to just getting lunch, to just getting an apartment, to just getting a job, to just opening his first business. And as he slowly worked through his own limiting beliefs, he was able to move through becoming a millionaire, then a multimillionaire, then a billionaire. But he didn't jump from homeless to billionaire. So this is really important. And Adam, I'm going to ask you to give some commentary on this, so think for a second. It's really important that you state an intention, because that activates your body and mind and all your energies within you to go in a particular direction. So it's better than being a victim. Most people are just responding to life and reacting to life. They're just being bounced around by whatever happens to them. I want you to stop that. I want you to become awakened. I want you to take back your power. I want you to have, do, or be anything. This is what I teach. This is what I create all of my programs for. So to help you, I want you to state an intention for 2018 that stretches you, but is still within the world of your beliefs. Not my beliefs, your beliefs. You can change your beliefs, and we'll talk about that as we go through these steps. But right now, in this very first one, I'm asking you to state an intention that really makes you a little bit nervous because it scares you a little, but also pumps you up and excites you because you're getting psyched, but also is believable. It's doable. It's within your world of possibility. Adam, how would you respond to that whole first step?
Well, I love it, and I know that it's such a huge piece in anything that we do. I mean, I one of my favorite quotes, and I can't remember who said it, but he said, "A life lived with intentionality is a life well lived."
Mm.
You know, you see so many people walking around without intention, thinking without intention, breathing without intention. When you really bring intention back into your life, I mean, I've learned so much over the years, the fact that you can control your physiology, you can control your breathing, your immune system, your autoimmune system. There's so many things you can control when you are intentional about it. And it's not even the control, and I know you know this, it's releasing control to gain control. And I know that sounds like a contradiction, but it's not. When you release it, you release that intention, you gain control at a much deeper level. So, yes, love the first step. Definitely.
Excellent, excellent. Well, that's where it all starts, folks. So write down what your intention is. You can change it. You can refine it. You can polish it. You can do whatever you want with it later. But for the purpose of this free training, I want you to really feel how these steps are a organic process to work together to get you the results you want. So start with an intention. Write down, what would you like to have, do, or be? Scares you a little bit, excites you a lot. It's within the world of your belief system as being at least possible. Maybe a stretch, but it's possible. All right, step 2. What's step 2? In step 2, I want you to feel it real. Now, I wrote a song called that, and I recorded it with a Grammy-nominated singer, Ruthie Foster. And the whole idea of feel it real is to imagine that your intention has already come to pass. I'm a great fan of an author by the name of Neville. And Neville wrote a lot of books, gave a lot of talks, and he used to tell people that assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. He would say, how would you feel if your intention was fulfilled today? You want to feel that way now. So let me give you a 3-step meditation process. This is the one that my billionaire friend in Thailand told me was one of the ones he did every day, and after he taught it to me, I did it, and the very next day I manifested a pretty staggering amount of money. So I want to walk you through these 3 steps, and they're all part of step 2. Step 2 is about creating with emotion. You can't create without emotion. Write that down. You cannot create without emotion. But most people are creating out of hate, or fear. And unknowingly, you attract what you love, hate, or fear. You can write that down too. You attract what you love, hate, or fear. I want you to focus on love. So here's how these three-step meditation works. The very first step, and you can do this right now, is to focus on this moment. What do you hear in this moment? Obviously, you hear my voice. Maybe you can hear a little bit of static on the line. Maybe you can hear your own breathing. What do you sense in the surroundings where you are in this moment? Is there a wind rustling? Can you feel the clothing against your legs? Can you feel the phone in your hand? The very first step of this three-part meditation is to get into the now. The point of power is now. The miracle is now. Your creative focal point is now. So focus on the moment, and you get into the moment by paying attention to your senses. What do you hear? What do you taste? What do you see? What do you feel? And you would spend a couple moments doing that. So when you do this meditation on your own, make sure that this first step, you don't just run by it. You sit in it and pay attention. Do you hear birds? Do you hear rustling? Do you hear leaves? Do you hear the wind? Do you hear what? So focus on the moment. That's the first step. The second step is to feel love. Think of something you love. Could be a family member, could be your spouse, could be your best friend, could be your pet or pets. It could be something you own or something you've seen or something you've done. But feel love. Bring love into your being right now. And to bring love into your being, think of something that you love. Or think of someone that you love. You don't want to create in a vacuum. You aren't creating just for you. You're creating to share your love and your manifestation with someone or some others. To bring love into this second step, spend a moment conjuring up somebody that you do love or did love. And so when you do this second step on your own, make sure that you spend a couple minutes really getting into the feeling of love. This is a very important second step. And then the third step in this manifestation is to apply the love you're now feeling to your intention, your goal, the outcome you want. So in other words, feel the love that you have for whoever it was in step 2. And now bring this feeling to what you're imagining. Remember what Neville had said, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. How would you feel if your intention came true? Feel that way right now with love. That's the third step in this second step process. So the second step is to feel your intention as if it's real. It's already accomplished. You, in a word, Nevilize it. And then you can use this 3-aspect meditation where first you focus on the moment, and you do that by paying attention to your senses. Second, you feel love. Conjure up, imagine, remember somebody you love so you can feel love throughout your whole being. Then the third step here is to apply this love to your goal. So you can feel this pure love that you have in the second step for the goal that you want to bring into being. This love will help attract it into your life. And feeling that it's already accomplished will help speed it up. It will accelerate it. because your mind is not going to know the difference between what's real and what's imagined. So in a way, you're tricking your subconscious to create this for you. So our second step in our 5-step process here is to feel it real. And Adam, I'll ask for any comments you may have or additions.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I love it. First of all, that, love is that one emotion. It's a creative force. And when we do put it out there, it's amazing what can show up in our lives. The law of attraction, it's so true that if you can't feel it, you're not going to attract it. I see so many people use the law of attraction where they're in their head and they're not connecting the mind to the heart. And so this brings the presence to the heart, and then put that red energy out there. And when you do that, miracles happen. And I've seen that being a miracles coach. I've seen that so often when people just try it, get past the ego of the skepticism and just try it, test it, and see how this thing show up for you.
And that's a beautiful reminder that testing this is the way to go. Now, my billionaire friend in Thailand openly told me that when he got the book The Secret, he was mad because he wanted cash. He wanted to be able to buy food. He wanted to be able to survive. But what he told himself was, if he was given this book and these techniques in the book, it must be for a reason, and it would behoove him, it would be smart on his part to test it. And he was skeptical, and he told himself, okay, what do I want right now? And he said, I want lunch. And he said, all right, I will try what this method is about. And it's about visualizing what I want, believing what I want, feeling what I want. So he did that for lunch. That day, somebody bought him lunch. Then he decided, well, it worked for lunch, but maybe that was just a coincidence. Maybe that would have happened anyway. So he said, what do I want next? And he said, I want coffee. Now remember, this guy's homeless. In his world, it doesn't seem possible. But even with his skepticism, he already has one success. He got lunch. So now he's going to test it on coffee. And he went through the same process. Then somebody just out of the blue offered him coffee. Well, from there, he's now thinking, well, can I get an apartment? So your reminder, Adam, about testing this is actually very wise. I want people to get the results they want, but I need them to go through these steps and actually find out for themselves that they work. You and I both know, with people that are already in the Miracles Coaching Program, a program that's been going on for 10 years, that there are so many success stories that we can easily take it for granted. And so I'm remembering that there are people on this call from all over the world, hundreds of them, who may not believe this is possible for them yet. So the reminder is, try this out. Step one is to state your intention, your inspiration, your objective, your resolution. What do you want to have, do, or be? Step two is to feel it real, and you can use the 3-part meditation I just gave you. Focus on the moment, feel love, then apply that love to what it is that you want. All right, let's keep going, because I got step 3 next. Step 3 is something I don't see enough people do. And a lot of people who end up saying, oh, the secret didn't work or the law of attraction didn't work, actually didn't do what was in the secret, and they didn't do what the law of attraction tells them to do. And I'm referring to step 3. Step 3 is take action. Take action. You have to do something. Life is a co-creation. Life is going to help create, but you have to do your part and at least meet part way. Sometimes you don't even have to meet part way. You just have to begin taking action, and then life rushes in with the rest of the manifestation for you. But I want to point out that when I say take action, it doesn't mean take overwhelming action. My billionaire friend in Thailand is building 600-unit condos on the side of mountains in southeast Thailand. I mean, this is overwhelming to me. I wouldn't know where to begin if I was going to build a condo, let alone 600 condos in a foreign country. But if I did want to build a condo, I would begin with some sort of baby step. And the baby step might be, where do I want to begin it? Where do I want to build it? What permits do I need? What forms do I need to fill out? What coach or mentor do I need to hire to walk me through how to build my condo? So my point here is that you need to take action, but your action could be baby steps. If you take baby steps today, another baby step tomorrow, and the next day, you can make the journey to wherever you're going. But if you don't begin now and you don't start taking the steps, you'll never get there. So you have to agree to take action. Now, a lot of people who learn about the law of attraction, whether from my book or The Secret or anywhere else, they kind of think all they have to do is sit and meditate, and whatever they want will show up on their porch. It'll just ring the doorbell. And that could happen. I don't want to dismiss it because I believe in magic and miracles. I mean, I founded Miracles Coaching. I teach it. I wrote a book called The Miracle. So that could happen. But my experience has been you usually have to do something. My homeless friend, who's now a billionaire, didn't just sit. He started taking action. He opened his own business. He had ups and downs, but he learned the ropes. He's managed to be a success. And I don't think I mentioned, he's only 35 years old. He's 35. I had somebody ask the other day, he says, I'm in my 40s. Can I still create success in my life? You can do it no matter what age. I turn 64 tomorrow. I'm still growing. I'm still stretching. I still hire coaches. I still am stretching myself to do other things. And I know I have to take action to make it work. So my reminder in step 3 is you need to take action. Even the phrase law of attraction, action is in the word attraction. So you have to take action to make the law of attraction work. But the good news is you don't have to take overwhelming action. What you do have to take are baby steps. Every day, do a few things in the direction of your intention. The good news is you don't have to know all the steps right now. You don't need to make a 5-year business plan. You don't need to make a 1-year plan. What you do is you look from your moment, from right here. I tell people start where your shoes are. You look where you're at in this moment and you ask yourself, what's the obvious thing for me to do? It could be really small. Here's what happens. You take that obvious first baby step, and behold, the next step becomes apparent. It gets unveiled after you do the first step. And so what do? At that point, you take that next obvious step. After you take that step, behold, the next step is there. So you don't have to know all the steps in advance, and you don't have to do everything in one day. But you do have to create. Life is a co-creation, and your job is to take action in the direction of your dreams every day. That's step 3. Adam, what do you think?
Well, I first of all, I love it, and I'm glad you're talking about this because I can't tell you how many people, when they first start the program, think, oh, I got to know everything. I got to know exactly how this all works, and I got to do this and this, and it's like, no, you need to be in the present, be in the moment, and do what you know how to do right now. Take that baby step. Have you noticed, too, I'm sure you've seen so many people that get hung up on having to know exactly how it's all going to work out, so they end up not taking action.
Right.
They end up in inaction, and I don't think it's because they don't want to. They feel like they have to know all of it before they take that first baby step. And to me, look, there's no faith in that. You have to have that little faith. Faith precedes all miracles. Ancient wisdom says faith without works is dead. If you're trying to manifest something, yet you're sitting on the couch eating potato chips, it simply won't work. Miracles happen when action happens.
Well said. I love it. I also love the reminder there that people want to know how it's going to work out. And that's an inside secret, is that we never know how it's going to work out. I think it was Steve Jobs of Apple who said you cannot connect the dots to success by looking forward. You can connect them when you're at success and you turn around and look back. But when you are proceeding towards your miracle and you are trying to manifest something in 2018 or at any time in your life, you probably won't know the how to achieve it. You will know that there are certain steps to take, and you'll take those each day, And then along the way, there'll be coincidences, there'll be synchronicities, there'll be magic happening and miracles happening and aha moments. And then at some point, you'll look and go, oh, it all worked out. All the dots did connect. But you won't see it standing here. You can only see today and maybe tomorrow. You can do the action steps for today and do the ones for tomorrow. And as you do them, the next ones will be apparent. Then just keep taking them. Before you know it, you'll be there. You know, people say, Joe, how many books have you written? And I'll say, well, somebody counted, and they said I've written 76 books. And even I'm shocked when I hear the numbers, like 76 books. How do you write 76 books in 64 years? How do you do that? And then I just realized I never set out to write more than one book. I wrote the one book in 1984, and then I got an idea for another one. And after I wrote that, I got an idea for another one. And after I wrote that, there was an idea for another one. But in 1984, if somebody had said, Joe, you're going to write 76 books by the time you're 64, I would have laughed then as I just laugh now. It would have been preposterous. It would have been unbelievable. It would have been in the realm of science fiction. It would have been an illusion. But yet it's reality. And it's only reality because I took action every day. So that's step 3. All right, step 4. And this is going to surprise a lot of people, and it might even surprise you, Adam. But this is new for me. I keep doing research into psychology and neuropsychology and the psychology of goal setting and goal achievement. And some of the recent findings are pointing out that in order for you to achieve your goals, in order for you to manifest your miracle, you're going to have to do what I'm calling in step 4, plan for setbacks. Plan for setbacks. This is a true hidden secret because nobody talks about it. Everybody says, set your goals, go for your goals, and keep on going. But nobody warns you that there are going to be some days where you'll have bumps in the road. You'll have some days when things don't work out. You'll have some days when you want to give up. And if you've not planned for those days, you might give up. An example would be if you plan to go on a diet. A lot of people are going to go on a diet. The New Year's here, January's here, 2018. They're all going to rush to the gym, sign up, memberships, all of that kind of stuff. But they will, statistics show, get off of their diet pretty quickly, probably within weeks and probably in January. Now, when they go off their diet, they will probably stay off the diet. They'll just give up. They'll just say, well, it didn't work out. That's not my intention. I can't achieve it. It's not my DNA, whatever, and they'll surrender. Now look at it this new way. If you go on the diet, but you understand you might go off one day because of a birthday party or a yummy treat somebody offers you at some point, and you plan on that. You plan that I'm going on my diet, but I know I might fall off, but that's okay because I know I'm going to go right back on it. You can still succeed. Now, my Thai friend, the billionaire that I keep referring to here, who so influenced and inspires me, I asked him about his mindset because he's 35. He has 150 employees. He has 19 businesses. And in my mind, that's pretty overwhelming because I don't want 150 employees and I don't want 19 businesses. I do a lot with what I do, but that seems overwhelming. And I asked him, how do you mentally handle all of that? And he says, when I wake up every morning, I'm not surprised that there's problems. He says, I kind of expect them. And right then and there, I realized he does something nobody else does. Everybody who has a problem in their life collapses. They're derailed. It ruins their day because they didn't expect it. He wakes up thinking, well, there's probably going to be some problems today. So his mind is already at peace. And he also said he doesn't mind solving problems. It's like a chess game to him. So step 4 is that you need to work with objective reality and realize that there'll be days when it rains. There'll be a lot of days where there's sunshine, but there'll be days when it rains. You need to have your umbrella handy. Now, I'm talking in symbolics and metaphors and so forth, but the idea is have a backup plan for when those days show up. If you are working on an intention or a goal for 2018, and maybe it is, I'm just make up something, to write a book or to do something, you want to create something, you want to build something, you want to open a restaurant, and everything seems to be going well, but all of a sudden, one day, people aren't returning phone calls. On that day, you could give up. On that day, you could say, well, maybe this is a sign that I'm not supposed to have it. Or if you have planned with the understanding that there will be days like that, you'll just tell yourself, this is one of those days. Today I'm going to go to a movie. I'm going to take a rest. Tomorrow I get back to it. Yeah. Now this is really important. This is step 4. I am not advising you to attract setbacks. I'm advising you to be aware that there will be some, most likely, along the way. And I'm only advising you to be aware of it so they don't stop you. This, in having a lot of, we still have step 5 to go through here, but this and all these other steps are going to ensure, if not guarantee, that you can have your goal, your intention, your objective, your resolution in 2018. So, Adam, how do you feel about this one?
Well, it's definitely different. You don't hear this one all the time. It's very interesting that you're mentioning it because I recently watched a video with Michael Phelps, and he was talking about visualization. Of course, the gold medalist, one of the most decorated Olympian in history. I said, wow, this guy's got to have some, he knows something about mindset and strength, and I wanted to learn from him and absorb it. And he said, his coach practiced visualization with him, not all that different from most athletes. And he said, but we'd also practice 2 other things. How might it go? And what are some possible things that can go wrong? So he said as he was going for the world record, his goggles filled up with water. Now, normally when that happens, you could get into a panic mode. Oh, no, what am I doing here? And it could ruin the whole race. But he said, I had actually gone through that scenario. If that happens, here's what I'm going to do. He stayed calm and actually set a world record blind. So, yeah, that is validation.
That's amazing. What a great story. Thank you. Oh, Adam, that is so good. And it also reminds me, you know that I'm a singer-songwriter, and I have 6 singer-songwriter albums out. But you may not know that I performed in downtown Austin, Texas, with my band, the Band of Legends, I think it was in July. And it was a big deal for me because I was a guy who never even sang in the shower. It was one thing to sing in a studio, but completely different to sing on stage. And I did everything to plan for this event. I mean, I did all the stuff we're talking about. I stated an intention. I was feeling it real, taking action every day. And I was getting a coach. I was getting mentoring. I was getting all the support. And one of the coaches I had said, don't expect perfection. Don't expect perfection. And that was like planning for setbacks, because in my mind I thought, I want it to be perfect. I want to be perfect. I don't want to fail. But the more I looked at it and started paying attention to famous musicians who are actually on the road doing this for a living, they would say, don't expect perfection because any number of things are going to go wrong. I remember the singer who's very popular, his name is Usher, said he was doing a dance routine at the beginning of a 2-hour show and he broke a rib. He continued the show. He danced, he sang, he did everything with a broken rib. And his advice was, you have to plan for these things. You have to expect them and have some sort of backup plan. So step 4 is to plan for setbacks. That's step 4. All right, step 5, it's the final one in this, and this is the biggie for me. 5 is get clear of beliefs. Now, I say it's the biggie because I say we live in a belief-driven universe. The world is, in my opinion, a kind of an optical illusion. You see what matches your beliefs. Decades ago, when I was in Ohio, I was at Kent State University in the 70s, and even before I went homeless, When I looked out at the world, I saw scarcity, I saw lack, I saw limitation, I saw the opposition, and I was angry, and I was depressed, and I was skeptical, and I felt like it was me against the universe, and the universe was stacked up to just keep me under its thumb. That was decades ago. Today I don't see that. Today I see opportunity, I see magic, I see miracles, I see benevolence, I see optimism, I see choice, I see the wonders of life. Yet it's the same universe. It's the same planet. What's different is my mindset. So the world is an optical illusion, and you're getting, and I don't mean you, Adam, but I mean everybody, the hundreds of people that are on this call, you're getting a match to your beliefs. So here's the good news. When you change your beliefs, you get a different universe. When you change your beliefs about what's possible, about deservingness, about yourself, your potential success and miracles, you open yourself to seeing all the different ways that you can actually manifest whatever you want. Now, there's some ways out there that people can use to get clear of beliefs, but for me, there's only one real way. There's only one real way, because if you try to change beliefs solely on your own, it's tough. Not impossible, but tough. It's tough because you're playing chess with yourself. You know your own moves. You can't outsmart yourself. You're looking at your life through your own belief systems, trying to change your belief system. So it's very difficult to see your beliefs with any clarity or objectivity. So what do? The only thing I know to do is to get a miracles coach. I started miracles coaching well over 10 years ago because I knew what a coach did in my life. When I started using coaches, I leaped ahead in success in all areas. And I still use coaches today because I know that I don't know it all. I know that I still have limiting beliefs in different areas. I've often said that if I've never climbed a mountain, but if I decided I wanted to climb mountains, in fact, my billionaire friend in Thailand does climb mountains and invited me to go on a trekking trip with him sometime. He's in Japan right now climbing mountains. But if I was going to climb a mountain, the first thing that would happen is I'd be afraid because I don't know how. The second thing is I'd go to books, and I'd learn everything I could about mountain climbing. But the next thing I would do is hire a coach. I'd find somebody who can help me find my limiting beliefs and to help me remove my limiting beliefs so I could then look at climbing a mountain with confidence and ability and then go and strut up the mountain. So to me, step 5 is about getting clear beliefs. That is the issue. We all have beliefs. We are blind to them because we are living out of them. We live out of a nest of beliefs. It's like the software in our brain. We don't see it, and we didn't even install it. Most of the beliefs we have, we downloaded as children from our parents, from family, from friends, from the school system, from the culture. I mean, even from the culture. My birthday's tomorrow. I'm going to be 64. Throughout those 64 years on birthdays, the culture in the U.S. of A has been to receive gifts. But because I went to another country, which has a different belief system, a different culture, taught me that, wait a minute, on your birthday, you could give gifts. Vastly different. But I never knew it because the belief system in this culture, in the USA, was different. This is what I'm talking about. We have beliefs that we have unknowingly accepted, and those beliefs are programming us mostly for lack and limitation. The beliefs are designed to keep us into survival, which is great. We want to survive. But they're not designed to take us into prosperity. They're not designed to take us into abundance. And I have learned, because I was homeless, I was in poverty, that abundance and all of this new life is readily available. And that's why I wanted to give these 5 steps. But this 5th step, I mean, setting an intention, the first step, of course, is obviously the starting point. 2, feeling it real and doing the 3-step meditation I taught you is a great way to accelerate manifesting and turning it into concrete reality. Step 3, to take action every day. Obviously, nothing happens until something moves. You need to move. Step 4, which is going to be enlightening to a lot of people, is to plan for setbacks. I think it was Buddha who said life is suffering. But as soon as you accepted that life was suffering, it was no longer suffering. Step 5, get clear of beliefs. This is the essential one. And Adam, I'd love to hear your comments about this one because you are the miracles coach and been there the longest, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, limiting beliefs. And here's the thing is there's so many people that go through life not realizing they have limiting beliefs, and when you try to tell them they have limiting beliefs, they kind of ignore it and go on their stubborn way.
Right.
You know, and so our invitation for people today is try it. Look, none of us know, you don't know your back as well as the world does. Have you ever thought about that for a moment? The world has seen more of your back than you have. Okay? And the same way, someone outside of your programming, outside of your system, can see what you need to shift. And often, I'll tell you, Joe, so often it is so easy. It is, and there's some common limiting beliefs that they're almost universal. I had somebody come in and she thought I was Harry Potter. She said, "How on earth do you know these things?" I said, "I promise I'm not magic." Okay. She didn't believe me. She thought I was magic because I called her out on a limiting belief simply by hearing the tone of her voice. I've been doing it so long, just literally by listening to people talk, I can pinpoint what their belief system is. I can pinpoint whether or not they're struggling with confidence or a self-image problem. I can see whether or not they have a challenge with how they see themselves in an instant, and it's so easy to shift. That's the key. It's so easy to shift, and when you shift it, everything in your life begins to change. You want more peace? You have it. You want more money? You get it. What do you want? You can have it, and it's like what you said. We live in a belief-driven universe. And when you understand that beliefs control your health, study the placebo effect. Look at the nocebo effect. Beliefs are everything. Master beliefs, and you master what one neuroscientist called reality, which is a controlled hallucination. You ever think about that? Reality itself is a controlled hallucination. If you don't believe me, go look at optical illusions for the day. Go look at all the different illusions and see how your mind is constantly manipulating reality. Well, wouldn't you like to gain control of that process and really begin to attract what you desire? So I agree with you, Joe. This is the key to all of it. Once you get clear on this piece, clear those limiting beliefs, you can have anything. There's absolutely nothing you can't have.
Well, the beauty of this is I want everybody to understand that in this free training, this is really just the tip of the iceberg. I've obviously written 76 books. I'm actually working on 4 other books. I have so much to share, so much to teach people, so much that I want to help them. So what I've done is Adam and I talked beforehand, and we did mention that we have a freebie for you. So, Adam, can you tell them what the freebie is to help take them further along? Because knowing these 5 steps here is fantastic. But how do we help them? How do they integrate it? How do they take it to the bank? How do they really make 2018 spectacular? What's the freebie we have?
Yep. So for attending, everybody's going to get a free gift. Everybody will receive a free needs analysis coaching consultation where we're going to dive into your belief system. We're going to show you what is keeping you stuck. It's a coaching session that you're going to have absolutely free. So we obviously can't work with everybody here on a one-on-one basis. We only have 9 Miracles coaches, and as you know, Joe, there are literally hundreds of people on the call right now listening to the sound of my voice. So we don't have the manpower to work with everyone, but we are going to at least start with that one session that we can give to everyone today. We can start with that. And Joe, you mentioned the baby step. Would you count this as a baby step for people going, I don't know where to get started? This kind of counts, wouldn't you say?
I would say I said there was an obvious baby step to take. I would say this is the obvious baby step to take. This is it.
This is it. If you're waiting, in the words of one of my great mentors, I call him Dad, the late Zig Ziglar, he said, if you're waiting for all the streetlights to be green before you leave the house, you're going to be waiting a while. Look, the streetlight just turned on, and it's green. This is your opportunity to go forward. Go to that first step and see where it leads you, right? And see, I mean, Joe, wouldn't you say that's how you became successful? You didn't see how all this was going to play out. As you mentioned, it was, oh, well, inspiration's taking me to this point. Let me go to that point that I can see and then see what my next step is.
Actually, Adam, you are reminding me of something I have forgotten. When I went to my very first coaching session, I was so nervous, hesitant, afraid, uncertain that I almost didn't go, first of all. And then second of all, I was driving a clunker of a car. 'Cause this is back, I'm unknown. I'm published. I got a small work done. But I'm still struggling, and I'm driving a clunker of a car, and if it broke down, my whole life broke down. And I was driving that clunker to go see this coach who I didn't really know. I just knew that he was doing something called coaching, and he thought it might make a difference. And he actually was giving me my first session free, which was the only way I could take it at the time. And my car broke down on the way. And I remember thinking to myself, my car is doing this because I don't want to go. And I remember telling the car, I'm going to this coaching appointment if I have to walk there. And there was a good another 5 miles, I think, if I remember right. This is back in Houston and decades ago. And I kept trying, and the car started, and I went. And so I know what people might be feeling right now. They're being offered something, and it's being offered in good faith, and it's free, and here's the obvious next step. But I also can relate to the uncertainty. They're probably thinking, well, what's this all about? What's this going to mean? And what it meant to me was it changed my life forever. The breakthroughs in finances, the breakthroughs in my relationships, my breakthroughs in my public success, in my publications, in the books, all stem from me getting that first coaching session. And then, of course, even when I didn't know how I'd pay for it, I enrolled and kept going. And that was decades ago, and I still do coaching today. So I don't even know how that story got brought up, Adam, but something you said triggered it.
I love it.
It's raw, and it's true, and it's authentic. And if people are a little nervous about it or just because they don't know, I would say whenever you leave your comfort zone, you feel uncomfortable. So if getting the free consultation feels uncomfortable, it's only because you haven't done it before. It doesn't mean don't do it. It just means you're stepping into the grass that you haven't walked in. But it's good grass.
Exactly. You know, it was December 5th I was speaking on stage with Kevin O'Leary, really one of the massive crowd. We had thousands of people there, and it was one of the biggest venues I've ever spoken at. And let me tell you, that first time I was so nervous. I was like, oh, man, I don't know how this is going to work out. I don't know if I can do this. And I remember what you told me. I don't know if you remember telling me this, but you said, Adam, you either act out of fear or faith.
Right.
You remember saying that to me? You said,
yes.
you got to wake up every day, and you got to ask yourself that question, am I going to act out of fear today or faith? And you said, I found the escalator to life when I chose to live my life with faith. I've never forgotten that. And you also said, remember, Adam, when the universe pulls up a limousine and opens the door, you get in. When opportunity presents itself, you get in. And so I'm just so grateful to you and what you shared with me over the years, because I would not be on here. I gotta be on stage with Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank. I'm hanging out with celebrities now. You know, Joe, I can honestly say it would not have happened without your mentorship, what you shared with me, and what I'm able to share with my students. So it really is a blessing. So thank you, and happy birthday. My goodness. It is a gift you're giving to everybody.
Well, how do people get their free consultation?
Yeah, let me give everyone the phone number here. So for those of you that want to take us up on the offer, here's what you do. Dial this number. For those of you domestic, if you're in the United States, this is the number you call. For those of you international, I'm going to give you a separate number, okay? So domestic callers, you call 800-748-5199, and you're going to press 0. Okay, that's going to take you to the operator, and they'll be able to get you to a coach right now. Because, after all, the universe loves speed, money loves speed. Okay, 800-748-5199. Press 0, and they'll be able to assign you a coach. International students, dial 801-371-0755. You're going to press 0 as well. Okay, so that's 801-371-0755 and press 0. I'll give you an email just in case you have troubles getting in. I know there's a lot of people on the line today, so they're going to be flooded. So if you can't get in, send us an email. Here's where you can email us, kmax@achievetoday.com. That's K as in kitty cat, okay, kitty, Max, M-A-X, at achievetoday.com. So go ahead and do that, and we might even throw in some extra goodies for the first people calling in today.
That's beautiful. Are we going to send everybody the audio of this? Does everybody, I don't know what you had planned, and I know everybody's listening as I'm asking. So
we have it recorded, so anybody that would like the recording, we can definitely get that recording out to you. So here's what we'll do. I'll actually give my email, and you can email me if you want tonight's recording, and we can definitely make that happen. So A. Mortimer, so A as in Adam, Mortimer at achievetoday.com, and I can get you the recording. So A. Mortimer at achievetoday.com. Fair enough?
Well, that sounds awesome. Adam, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for facilitating this, for making it possible for everybody all around the world, all these hundreds of people to tune in and to get this free training. Godspeed to you. Have a fantastic new year. I hope to see you in early 2018, and I'm grateful for everybody being on this call. You're the movers and shakers. You got 5 steps to take it to the bank right now, but I would strongly encourage you to take the very obvious next step and request that sample of Miracles Coaching. Get your consultation. Just do it, no matter how you feel about it. If you're a little bit excited and a little bit nervous, perfect. Then just call the number that Adam gave or send him an email and claim it. And I think, go ahead.
God bless him. Thank you, Joe. We'll go ahead and wrap it up tonight. Thank you so much for coming. Happy birthday. Thank you for the gift that you're sharing with everybody. Big hug for you. Big hug for everybody on the call today. And we'll see you later. God bless everyone.
All right. Bye-bye, everybody.